Welcome to Kingdom Metalworks. So we're going to continue now with the reverse curve panel. We laid it out yesterday. This is what we're going to make. We've got the reverse in here, which is the catwalk. And what we're looking to do now is to just trim the material. I trimmed in a little bit on the, because that's where the I'm now just going to trim down the side here, just to true it up, just to make it a little tidier. I'm old school, I like to use snips and like to use the lead shot bag. There's lots of ways to make this panel, more than one, but this is just my preference, and it's old school. It's using the lead shot bag, utilizing the stump, and then using the English wheel to shape the panel to get it to trimming in the panel nicely to the lines that we drew out in the last video. So this is the second video, part 2, which is B. All right then. So once we've cut our material in, I don't like wearing gloves, so I'm going to deburr a little bit so that it's nice and soft on the edges. I like to use a deburr knife. That way it saves the leather on the lead shot bag so that the panel doesn't cut into it. So it just makes it longevity. Of course, once we buy certain things, we want them to last as long as possible. So there we have a deburred piece of material, and we have our lines on it from the sweeps that we made up. And now we're going to mark the other side, because we're going to be working on this panel not only from this side, but we're also going to be working on it from this side. So we need reference lines. So I'm just going to mark these reference lines in. Transfer lines underneath. Transfer the lines underneath, and then we're going to utilize the same shape for our. So having said that, we've got our curvature going this way. We want our profile to go that way. Then marries up. So then we just position it in to the marks. Like I say, I'm using a jumbo mark. See from camera shots, makes it easily visible. Use a fine line Sharpie normally when I'm doing things like this, but it doesn't show up on camera very well. So here we go. There's the center line, and of course we've got our final line to come into. So notice how I'm positioning the sweep to be even through the panel. I don't have it all the way out here, I don't have it all the way out here. I've got it designated right in the center of the panel equally either way, so that the high point of that curve comes in to the same place as where I want most of my shape to be, which is going to be in this area here. So having said that, let's get started and we'll have a bit of fun. Like I say, we're going to make a panel that resembles that, and we're going to do it in a manner that we're going to put some shape in through here with the lead shot bag and the mallet, crown this up. So therefore, I need to mark my target area just basically on where that's going to be. And I'm going to come in straight through the center, and I'm going to work a little bit towards the edge so that I get this kind of contour. So let's come over to the lead shop bag. Here we have the lead shop bag and mallets. I'm going to use the larger mallet to get the shape. And I'm just going to even the shape out on the bag. I'm going to start with my front target zone. So, as I shape up on the panel, this is always the fun part because it just takes the stress right out of you. So you end up having a stress-free day. Isn't that great? So we're putting the shape in. Noticed I stopped it right about this area here, because this area here is going to be crowned over, and this area here that comes out towards the door on the top of the fender, I don't want it to be curved like this. I want it to be relatively straight. So the ideal way to achieve that is to make a trough. See, difficult to do with sand, but the lead shop will maintain that fairly well. Now, using that trough, I'm now going to go down the side. And as you can see, it's still maintaining a relatively flat line. Not perfectly, because there's going to be a little bit of crown to it as we bring everything over. Got a lot of shaping to do, but it's just the beginning stages. And you want to try and get it as accurate as possible right at the beginning. Notice I'm not just working randomly all over the panel. I started with the high crown area. I moved into the area. As you can see, I've got this area here wider than this area here. That maintains my shape. I'm letting the panel know exactly where I want it to go and not where it wants to go. The whole idea is to control the material and stretch in the high crown area so that we start getting our high crown. At the same time, we've got to pay attention to where our reverse curve is coming in. And like I say, between here and here is a no-hit zone. We don't want to be coming in too close with our mallet. We can detail it on the second run. So the whole goal is to make sure that the panel is going the right direction. If I'm dressing shape in here and this panel starts doing this, I've got to correct it straight away. I need it to conform to the direction that I want it to be. That's going to be the nose of the car. That's going to be the hood area. This is going to be the rear door section coming back once we get the other on. And this is the headlamp section. So the panel seems to be going in the right direction. Now, I've done a few of these. Done a few of these in my time. Got taught a lot of my metal shaping in AC cars, which obviously is all about cobras. And so I'll get to a certain point where I put the shape in. And it's like, well, wow, wouldn't it be easier to anneal? Well, it would, but then it's not as easy to control the catwalk or the reverse curve, because then you start softening up the material and it doesn't have any return flex, it doesn't have any means to be able to hold its own, so therefore it won't go where you want it. So maybe later on I'll get into a little bit of annealing just to speed up the process. But the whole goal right now is to stretch through the crown, which is my crown up in here, and then to get the catwalk to drop in, I've then got to start stretching on this edge, which allows this panel to stretch up and rotate up. Stretch up, rotate up, which then drops this in. So I get it to a certain stage, and just so you guys can see how it's going, what I'm going to do now is I'm now going to go over to the stump, and I like nice shiny metal. So rather than damage anything and get the wood imprint, it's all right for steel. For my aluminum, I like it to be nice and shiny. Oopsie. So now we just adjust the panel, give it a little flex, just to make sure that we're achieving what we want. As you can see, that really pronounced that area. I could probably do a little bit more shaping in here, but because of time and we're just doing a little video, I'm going to cut it short. And then I'm getting ready to put it in the wheel, which is why I went from the lead shot bag over to the stump, which takes out all the highs and lows that might be in there, that as the panel travels through the wheel, it starts jumping up and down a lot more. So I blend and smooth just a little bit more. At the same time, you can see I'm utilizing the stump, and because I have the vinyl leather on top of the pad, it still allows it to stretch and to conform. So now I'm getting to a point, we'll come over here, to where the panel now is becoming more relaxed, but at the same time it's giving me an edge that is now, if I hold the panel here and here, and then you watch this edge, you'll be able to see the flex in it. So it's loose on this edge and tight on this edge. So now I'm ready to say, okay, I think I'm going to put a little bit of English wheel to it, set the panel. So that's what I like to do. This is what we're doing, is we're setting the panel up, ready to do the reverse curve. So having said that, holding this down, you can see how it's going to take its shape quite easily. It doesn't take very much pressure just to hold that down, and you can see now by putting the reverse curve in here on this curvature is going to throw this up, this coming in, and then there's enough looseness on this edge, because as we are stretching the material up here, it not only stretches it up this direction, but it's also stretching the material this direction. The pressure of the direction this way enables us to be able to get this curvature, and so the metal is going this direction. It's got nowhere to go except to force pressure into this area, which gives you this loose edge. So there you have it. There's the beginning stages. I'm going to set up on the English wheel and get ready to do a little bit of wheeling. If you've enjoyed this video, please like it, and if you maybe you'd like to subscribe, we'd really appreciate that. Anyways, we'll catch you on the next video.